I've been playing Roblox for, 13 years? Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I've had Roblox for 13 years. I haven't exactly played consistently for that long. I think my activity peaked in both 2013 and 2017. That first time because I just got into the game and all of its cool features like Egg Hunt, Roblox Studio, ODing. But that second time, in 2017, I had more refined, sophisticated tastes at age 13. I began my journey into Roblox Groups. Or rather, Roblox communities? For the rest of the video, I will be calling these Roblox Groups, since that's what they were called back in my day. Back in my Roblox Prime, groups were one of the hottest tickets in town. For the unaware, groups are featured on Roblox where players can make their own communities, complete with roles, games, and even apparel. More on that later. Groups were super neat and honestly a great way to make friends. They might still be, but honestly from a glance it looks like in the year of our Lord 2025, groups are mostly joined to get like ×2 money in a certain game or whatever bonuses that may apply based on that circumstance or the game it's about. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, because groups go way deeper than that. Developer studios who make Roblox games might have groups to support them, but that's not even the beginning, to mention that when you give players the ability to make communities about anything, you get communities about anything. Take this group as an example, the United States Special Forces, or USSF. This group is the largest war clan on Roblox and one of the most active. We are one of the first clans on Roblox, originating in 2009 as the 25th group on Roblox. A Roblox war clan? Holy shit. Digging deeper into the group, you see very specific roles you can obtain, such as Sergeant, Lieutenant, Captain, Major, and even the Commander-in-Chief himself. The most shocking part of all of this group has 3 million members. Here are a few more examples. This United States Secret Service group has 537,000 members, or 67 times more than the actual Secret Service. Soros restaurant franchise has 734,000 members, and this is their president. One of the most interesting ones is Pinewood Builders, which, if you were active around the same time I was, is the group responsible for Pinewood Space Shuttle Advantage, Mega Miners, Pinewood Computer Core, and even Pinewood Laundromat. The group's bio is follows. Welcome astronauts, explorers, scientists, and war heroes. You're here because we want the best, and you are it. Pinewood is the place where we unite together as one, creating the next best thing for Roblox kind. And as a fan group for our games, everyone is welcome, even if you can't build, script, or fly the space shuttle. Play Pinewood Computer Core, where you're in control of a reactor and survive a multitude of disasters. Launch into space with Space Shuttle Advantage, and explore the cosmos. Dig deep into the Earth at Mega Miners and drive huge vehicles, as well as many other cool games we've made. So wild. So in part, thanks to groups on Roblox, you can roleplay as the President of the United States, the head of a massive restaurant franchise, and even the owner of a scientific research organization. Or if you're lucky, you might even have a toy of a role in your group. But as ridiculous as all of this is, and I don't judge, honestly, I think it's pretty cool. It's not the main reason I wanted to talk about Roblox groups or why I'm so passionate about them. The reason I wanted to make a video about this is because I was in one. Honestly, for as long as I can remember being on Roblox, I remember joining this group on a whim, but not really paying it much attention. It was a clothing group. It wouldn't be until my second Roblox Wind in 2017 that I was inspired to begin participating and becoming a part in this group's world and attempt to climb the white-collar Roblox ranks of it. This group was Kestrel. Kestrel is a Roblox clothing group currently with 92,000 members. When I first was active in the group, it sat around 36,000. The group would have designers that would go into Photoshop or some sort of photo editing software, and design cosmetics for your Roblox character to wear that could be purchased for the in-game currency of Robux. These were mainly shirts and pants. What's cool about Kestrel, and is true for a lot of other Roblox groups based around selling commodities, is that they often have a Roblox game that's designed to be the home store for the organization. In my heyday, the Kestrel home store was at version number 7, which unfortunately you can no longer visit or play on. The current version of the home store appears to be number 11. The whole point of the home store was for customers to browse and try on the outfits on display that they could buy for their character, as well as, give employees something to do. Oftentimes, group members would join the game and wait for a customer to join to ask if they needed help with anything. Half roleplay, half actual working somewhere, obviously without getting paid. Now, my memory on how everything works and or worked might be a little fuzzy, so I apologize if they're not 100% correct or even vague. When I joined Kestrel, or when anyone first joins, they're given the role of customer. This role does not allow any sort of special permissions or anything, it's just the standard rank. In order to begin climbing the corporate ranks, you would have to apply. To be totally honest, I can't remember how you did this. I think you would message someone who's a higher rank and then you click a link in the group's description which would enable you to apply to become the next glorious rank and officially be a Kestrel employee. Actually, in retrospect, after some research, I'm pretty sure they would announce interviews would be happening and you would join a whole separate game for interviews. Either way, if you managed to get an interview and you passed that first interview, you would have the privilege of being an intern. Congratulations, you're an intern. Now what? Now you get to help customers at the store and follow orders from anyone a higher rank than you. Yeah, that's it. Awesome. So what's the next rank? Well, if memory serves, I believe you would have had to work a certain minimum of time to begin working on becoming the next rank. It was around my time as an intern that I started to meet the people who worked at Kestrel regularly. These included other interns and people of higher ranks I would soon call my friends. It wouldn't be long until I would be promoted to Sales Associate. These titles just keep getting fancier. But don't get too cocky just yet. A Sales Associate is just a glorified intern. What's next? Well, if you're ready and you meet the requirements, you can begin the process to become an Assistant Manager. For roles starting with AM and forward, you would have to visit a separate Kestrel Roblox game where you would complete an interview and answer questions. This also may apply to the intern role, I can't remember. This process is done as seriously and legitimately as a real job interview. It's also around this time that you probably would have joined, like I did, the Kestrel Discord. The Kestrel Skype. Yeah, it was a big Skype channel, that is, until we jumped to Discord a few months later. Moving forward from Assistant Manager, you would continue this interview process until you found yourself in the next role as Manager, followed up by Supervisor. These are the final roles specifically responsible for the retail aspect of the job. Yeah, it gets crazier. So you want to move up from Supervisor, huh? Well, next is Senior Manager. You get to walk around Kestrel Home Store version 7 like you own the place. What? You want to do something real? Well, now is the time to begin taking a look at joining the Board of Directors. The role of the Board of Directors is much larger than that of any previously mentioned role. With every role that's higher on the org chart, the number of associates in that role decreases, but this jump would be the most drastic, with there only being, I believe, about a maximum of 8 directors on the board. The Board of Directors would be split into 2 factions, Communications and Operations. Both halves would be led by the representative of the department, the Chief Communications Officer, or the CCO, and the Chief Operations Officer, or the COO, respectively. Needless to say, these 2 roles answer to the CEO, or the Chief Executive Officer, who would then answer to the Vice President of Kestrel, who then, finally, would answer to the President of Kestrel, who, at the time of my employment, in quotations, was Gideon. Shout out Gideon. Now you're probably wondering, Alex, how far up the Kestrel tree did you climb? Well, dear viewer, I didn't just get to Assistant Manager or Supervisor, I found myself at my peak with being a member of the Board of Directors. That's right, baby, I worked in the communication side of the Board of Directors for a company with 36,000 members. Mind you, I wasn't getting paid, it was all roleplay, and I was still 13. I ended up becoming inactive, or rather, I had to formally resign from my position via email due to losing interest in the group. During my time at Kestrel, I took part in a lot of events. These included Kestrel-sponsored fashion shows, board of director meetings, discussions about Kestrel Magazine, how to promote the group, visiting other unrelated games to promote the group, and more. Honestly, I had a really good time taking part in Kestrel. I made friends like Eggy, Ella, Riley, Jake, Geeky, Nicole, and more, some of which I'm still in contact with today. Getting to bond with these people from all over the world by working as a fake clothing company was oddly effective in knitting a tight group. It was a great time, despite how absurd it all is in retrospect. Now you might be thinking again, Alex, why did you make this video? What was the goal? Was this all pointless? Sort of. My main mission with this was to share the absurdity of ROBLOX Groups, as I haven't seen anyone cover it in a video before, but I'd be lying if I said that was the only reason. There exists another role in Kestrel, a role that was there when I first joined, to when I was active, to even today. This role is that of Noted Customer. A player can obtain this role when they climb to a certain rank in the group, and decide to step down as an active member of the Kestrel company. When I was part of the group, the role you needed to achieve to lock your spot as a Noted Customer when you left was that of a Chief Officer, aka right here. When I stepped down from my position, I was right here. You see where I'm going with this? Had I been promoted one more time, this would have granted me the opportunity to retire from the organization as a noted customer, but unfortunately, I had just missed the cutoff. In fact, if memory serves, it used to be a privilege given to former directors of the board as well, but only when I started to become active did they change the requirements. Suffice to say, I was frustrated. And honestly, 8 years later, I'm still a bit frustrated. Is that immature? For sure. Did I email the current president of Kestrel a few weeks ago requesting the role? I sure did. So, Anna, or any members of Kestrel, if you're watching this, could you do me a huge favor? Could I please finally get the noted customer role? I realize this is an insane ask 8 years later, but the concept of role-playing retail is insane itself, so where do we draw the line? Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Feel free to let Kestrel know that they should make Abnomaly, that's Abnomaly on Roblox, formerly Young Dragon Alex 67, Communications Department of the Board of Directors, a noted customer. Take care and have a great rest of your day.